Hey, it's Vanessa from CraftyGemini.com, and I post weekly crafting and cooking videos here on YouTube. This week I'm back with block number 11 of my video quilt along. So today we're going to be working on the Ohio Star block, and this is what it looks like. I just used up some fabrics I had on hand, but you can see that there's a lot of variety as far as what you can do with this block. If you're coming across this tutorial randomly, we're all the way up to block number 11 out of the 12 blocks that I'm teaching you how to make in my video quilt along. Every 2 weeks I post a new video, so 2 weeks from today you'll see another video posted and we'll be done with all our blocks. Be sure to stick around after that because then I'll be posting tutorials teaching you how to square up your blocks and get them all to the same size. Then I'll be giving you a few different options as far as putting the quilt top together. Then we'll cover batting options and we'll finally put the entire quilt together. Now let's start with the supplies we'll need and jump right into making block number 11. To make this block we only need squares, so we start off with 2 light squares that measure 5 1/4 inches square. The same thing goes for 2 darker squares with the same measurements, and then you need 5 squares that measure 4 1/2 inches squared. You're going to take 1 light and 1 dark of the ones that measure 5 1/4 inches square, and you're going to put one on top of the other with the pretty sides touching. And we're going to put our pins on the top right corner, and we're basically going to set these up just like we would our half square triangles, which you guys have done previously in some of the other blocks. Make your line on the diagonal, put in another pin on the other corner, and then with your scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to sew a line to the right of that line and to the left of that line. And you're going to repeat that to the 2 other squares that you have that have the exact same measurements. So you're basically going to end up with 4 half square triangles once you're done with these, but we're going to be turning them into 1/4 square triangles. So your line, a 1/4 inch to the right and a 1/4 inch to the left of that line. Once you're done with that, you can remove your pins so you can lay your ruler right on top and it can be flat. Put the ruler right on the center line and cut down the center so you end up with 2 half square triangle units. And you're going to repeat that to the other block unit as well. When you're done with that, you can open them up. You have your half square triangles here, and the first thing you want to do is trim away those dog ears. They just seem to bother me and they're a little annoying. I like to work with nice square blocks. You're going to lay one of your half square triangle units face up and then the other one face down on top of it, alternating the contrasting fabrics. Okay, so if the dark fabric is towards the right on the bottom piece, you want to put it towards the left on the top piece, just like I showed you here. You're going to place that, match up all the raw edges and put some pins there as well. And the same thing that we did for our half square triangles, we're going to repeat it here. But this time, the diagonal line needs to be perpendicular to the one that you sewed previously. So I'm going to mark this line now. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to stitch a scant 1/4 inch to the right and a scant 1/4 inch to the left, just like here. Then you can remove your pins, lay your ruler down that center line again, and you're going to slice this down the middle. And then what you're going to end up with is 2 1/4 square triangle units, like this. And repeat that on your other piece to end up with 4 total 1/4 square triangle units. Then you want to trim away those dog ears on the 4 squares as well. And the next thing you want to do is trim them to size. Before you sew your block up, it should measure 4 1/2 inches square. And I have a diagonal line in my ruler that I like to put right on the diagonal of the block. And then I'm going to trim away the excess and trim it down so that the entire block measures evenly of 4 1/2 inches square. Turn it over to the other side. And I like to cut two sides as I go. And trim away the excess. And repeat that for your 4 remaining blocks so that now when you go to put together your 9-patch Ohio Star, all the squares measure the exact same size. So I like to start off with the center here. Then you're going to lay your 1/4 square triangle pieces in a cross shape in the center. So they go across the 4 sides, and then the other squares just fill in the remaining corners. And there's a little bit of variation here. You can turn these so that you see I have here now the dark fabric is going towards the center block. And you can sew it like that. Sew your smaller units in rows and then sew all the rows together to get the full block. Remember that we like to press our seams first and then push them to the side of the darker fabric. Use a scant 1/4 inch to sew. And then also remember to press the seams in opposite directions across the rows so we can get nice intersecting points. So now that you see how easy it was to make your Ohio Star block, I hope that this will be one of your go-to blocks in your future quilting projects. Now we've covered half square triangles in previous blocks, and in this one we took it up another step and learned how to make 1/4 square triangles, which can come in handy all the time as well. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this step-by-step tutorial, and I'll see you in 2 weeks when I'm back with block number 12. And remember to keep uploading those pictures to our Facebook page. I love to see what you're making from the Crafty Gemini tutorials.